Welcome to day 337 of our DeSo journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in CloutFeed. So yesterday, NameTrade by MP3. MP3 was actually on our show last week. I guess it was this week, right? This week?
Yeah.
It's now open for public. So if you go to NameTrade on DeSo, you can see that they're now open. There's a link to their website. I believe it's name-trade.com. And you can now buy and sell usernames on DeSo. And it's a really cool service. It's all automated, so you don't have to worry about, putting it up for sale. And then if somebody wants to buy it, you don't have to transfer a username. You don't have to, rename that username, let the other person register it, and then get payment. There's none of that. It's all automated. So it uses Drive keys, I believe, to automate the whole process. And MP3 has done a great job on this. It's going to be interesting to see if there is a marketplace that forms around usernames.
Yeah, I think that if there isn't a huge market right now, I think moving forward, as you get more daily active users, people come on and they want a specific name. I think there's no doubt that if DeSo grows, that there's going to be a huge market for usernames, especially in the long run. I mean, I think it's going to be similar to the domain name rush. If DeSo becomes like an identity layer to the internet, I think this is like a gold mine for both people who are speculating as well as MP3 as a project, MP3's project here. But yeah, I saw he was talking to Lazy Nina in the Discord, discussing some of the ways they're using derived keys. Brilliant idea. I'm glad it's here, because I think there does need to be a way to do this in a trustless manner, selling usernames, and buying them. But yeah, I also want to move on. Obviously, what's happening in Ukraine is horrible. There are numerous Ukrainian DeSo members that I think need help. A lot of them, some of them, or at least, are fleeing the country. Others are hunkering down and trying to remain safe. But it's really a dire situation over there. But Matreshka and her Nesting Da NFT project, they've actually launched a series of 3 NFTs in order to raise money for a bunch of these Ukrainian DeSo users. And what she's doing is she's minting 3 different NFTs. There's 50 of each. There's 3 different levels. There's a $5 one, a $50 one, and approximately a $500 one. Of course, this is in DeSo, so the price fluctuates. But if you want to contribute and buy one of these NFTs, no matter what level, 100% of the money is going to be split between a list of Ukrainian DeSo users. I think there's like 19 of them, I believe. So 5.55% of every sale will go to each one of these people. There's no not founder reward, but no commission to the creator coin or the creator. So it's all going to this Ukrainian community of members. And obviously Matreshka is a trustworthy member, so I'm backing it for sure. I bought one of them. But yeah, I'll just quickly name the people that are gonna be benefited from this series. And if you want to participate and help out, just go to the Nesting Da account on DeSo and you'll see the 3 NFTs. But they are Transhumanist, Zapel, Fantastic Woman, Cat Tyson, Memes Machine, Project Search, Stepper 93, Anastasia Horoshenko, Alina Bakova, Jean GMB, Jay Rebetz, Ozar Doroshniak, sorry, I probably butchered that one, Natalie Art, BAFQ, Brutal, Shade Flowers, Malvina, and Jewel 1KO. So those are who will be helped out. If you can, please check it out. I think it's a great cause, and these people definitely need help. And I think that kind of moves on to the next thing, which is Alex's.
Am I going to get to talk or not?
Yeah, I'll let you say something.
So Matreshka is a Russian woman on DeSo. So, I think we can't, probably the majority of Russians are with the Ukrainians here. they don't all support Vladimir Putin and what he's doing. I know there's a lot of, propaganda on TV in Russia and, only certain things are shown. But Matreshka deserves a lot of credit here. It's like, I think she feels bad for what her government is doing. So congrats, Matreshka. I mean, I think you deserve a lot of credit.
Yeah, and I think that goes from all of us. But yeah, yesterday we also had the meeting with Alex Valetis on Entra, the community event, and he gave us a lot of information, including something about Ukraine. He said that they're going to take some action to support members in the Ukrainian community, and a plan is in the works. They're going to release more details sometime next week. I'm guessing probably Monday or Tuesday. So I think that's important as well. I think it's great to stick together and support what's right. Obviously, there's two different sides here, but I think the majority of the planet is on the Ukrainian side, being an independent nation that's being invaded for not really, I don't want to say no reason. I'm sure Putin has his reasons, but anyway, I think that it's great that we're supporting the community, supporting the Ukrainians. I'm glad to hear that DeSo is going to be involved. We don't know to what extent, but that's great as well. But Alex also, let's move on from Ukraine. Alex also mentioned a lot of other details, provided a lot of insight and information. The Entra event went for about an hour or so. He allowed people to come on stage and ask questions. I know I got to ask a question. Ed asked a question. Darian Parrish asked a question. DOZ asked a question. A lot of people were on stage, and Alex he answered like feedback, criticisms, and he said that we want criticisms, but we want it to be constructive criticism. Don't just tell us we're screwing up. Tell us what we can do to stop screwing up. So I think that's important. If you are going to criticize the core team, which I think it's fair to criticize them on some things, I think you got to do it in a constructive way so that they learn and they understand what they could be doing better. Nobody's perfect. Additionally, Alex went on to confirm that DAO, I think that was the biggest thing, that DAO is actually, the core team's actually involved in it. So he didn't go into say to what extent, but the core team is involved. Obviously, it's not a scam. Obviously, there's some big things being planned around DAO in the coming weeks. I think the countdown is like 33 days or something like that. So something to pay attention to, obviously, going forward. They're going to release more information. They're going to say more. One of the reasons why
I think Alex said he hopes to release more information next week on what they're doing with DAO. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and one of the reasons he said they kind of went under the radar was because a lot of the people and projects they're working on, they didn't want stuff going public, so they didn't want to kind of reveal that. So I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, I guess. And finally, he said that he kind of showcased what they're doing with Major League Hacking. And if you go to the Major League Hacking website, mlh.io, you'll see that there's a huge sponsorship banner for DeSo. They're going to be pushing marketing for sure for Major League Hacking. I think this is going to be a really crucial element of bringing developers onto the DeSo blockchain. And one final thing, tutorials. They're working on tutorials. They're pushing tutorials, and they're pushing a more cohesive marketing plan.
Yeah, so I think it's all great news from a consumer standpoint and from a developer standpoint. Also, NFTZ, I know we said it will probably be version 2 would be released this week. There are some more issues we ran into with Postgres. Lazy Nina is working on those issues. We hope to have them resolved in the next day or two. So hopefully things get resolved, and hopefully we can have version 2 out next week. But in the meantime, we are adding additional features in the background to version 2. So when it does come out, it's going to even be more elaborate and have more additional features in it. So we're still working behind the scenes. We're still working hard, especially M. Van Halen with his coding ability. He's been working with Lazy Nina, who's been very helpful in fixing some of the Postgres issues. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and I want to apologize too. I know like every week we say, oh, it's coming next week. It's not that we weren't ready. It's more that we can't sync it correctly with the blockchain because of some Postgres issues, which is kind of out of our control. I think that Lazy Nina is working her butt off to figure this out, and we're working with the core team to figure it out as well. But yeah, like Ed said, we're using the time to add features that wouldn't have been added upon launch previously. So when we do roll out, it's going to be pretty awesome. And the NFT space is kind of quiet right now anyway. So I think that if it does take a week or two longer, I don't think it's the end of the world.
Yeah, and it's also giving us more time to test some of the features we've added to make sure they're working properly. So yeah, I think that's it, and we'll talk to everyone tomorrow.